Boys Bible Study.
Boys Bible Study.
Get your hands up.
Boys Bible Study.
And some department stores even tell employees to avoid saying Merry Christmas.
I'm always should we talk about our peers on the podcast? I mean, that is kind of like the point of a podcast, but you know. And what does my peer mean? Everybody in the world is my peer.
That's right.
You know, in the human race.
One race, the human race.
Well, the angel race too, as we found out. But
and the angel race.
Yeah, two races.
We found out.
But what did you see this weekend?
They make that very clear in City of Angels. I saw the movie Black Mamba, which I had on a disc from Bleeding Skull called Backyard Bloodbaths. And I bought this because the movie 777 is on it. And one of our past guests' brother is one of the filmmakers.
Oh.
Suki Rose.
Oh, awesome.
I'm blanking on his name, but I had seen it before once. It was pretty good. So I was like, oh, that's amazing. It got released. So I was like, assuming the other two things are along this same line, then easy purchase, right?
Yeah, sure.
And one of the other movies, Summer Horror Day, was in that same vein. It was like British, like Super 8 movie, super low budget, but like fun, cool effects. Gets kind of like murder drone-y at some point. But both these movies made by teens. But then the other one, Black Mamba, which I hadn't read anything about, because this is the third one on it. I'm already, I assume it's along the same lines, like probably teenage boys made a thing, which is great. But a friend of mine really, really wanted to watch it. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll wait for you to watch that. And it's amazing. It was like the equivalent of, it was made in Philadelphia in 2016, and it was like kind of like Kenya Cagle Cinapple combined with like Nollywood movies, like if that was your basis for like how movies were made. And the introduction was by like a woman who's probably in her 50s, and she was like, my cousin was always pretty weird. And
my name is Belinda Marguerite Wilson, and I'm the writer, producer, and director of Black Mamba. The inspiration for this film came to me from a family member whose name I will not mention, and you'll find out why later. I went to a family funeral. We usually meet up at funerals instead of family reunions for some reason. That's how our family is. And this one cousin who's older is very interesting, and people are really leery of her. They're afraid of her because she puts the roots on people. And every aunt and uncle had their own story about how she married them and put the roots on them, skin lesions, hair falling out, accidents, missing cats, and things like that. Now, I don't know how she's related to us, because my mother told me when she was a young girl, they had a barbecue and she just showed up and said that she was their cousin. Now, years after my mother passed, she never aged. So I thought she was interesting.
She was like talking about how like her cousin was a witch. Or like did stuff that was like witch-like, and she's like, and that's why I made this movie. But the movie's like crazy. There's tons of wild special effects in it. Demons are like souls trapped in little jars, and one of them has like a giant penis that's like half his body. Whoa. And like people keep going to this witch doctor basically to like get spells, and she's always like, you got to do exactly this though, or else you'll be screwed. And everybody's always like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like every single time.
That's awesome. So it is a classic like black magic movie. Like that
Yeah.
reminds me very much of like, the Hong Kong black magic movies or
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like a DIY United States take on that.
And sort of an anthology, even though it's like the same witch doctor, just because it's like story after story of somebody like doing like they all have different reasons and different needs that they have, but that nobody's coming through on their end of the market.
Yeah, it's a witch doctor fail compilation.
Yes, which is great. But lots of bizarre special effects and like clearly spent a fair amount of time trying to figure out weird little demon effects. Really, like whatever effects whatever effects program they use for like low budget Nigerian films, like I swear that is what this woman had.
Huh.
Because it just looked so similar. And lots of weird green screening too. Like, being in front of buildings where you're like, why not just use a different building if you're green screening yourself in a house and pretending it's the doctor's office? Just screen yourself in front of a doctor's office. I don't know. There's a lot of like interesting decisions like that. But I was just like, had a huge smile on my face the whole time watching it. It was awesome.
That sounds fantastic. Yeah, I've never heard of this one. It's the 2016 one, right?
Black Mamba 2016.
Yeah.
American low budget black magic movie.
Okay,
Big
fantastic.
recommend.
That's the Boys Bible Study demonic movie of the week recommendation.
That's right. Teaching you what not to do. Watch the movie to see what not to do.
Yeah, but you know what? The horseshoe theory is that it all really comes back around to the same lesson, So
Right.
It fits. That's Boys Bible Study for you. Sounds dope. Well, we watched another American film this week.
Yes, we did.
A classic one. Let's discuss. I'm excited to get into it. I will start the show. Welcome back to Boys Bible Study, your number one source for angel news and updates. We are continuing on our quest to be the preeminent angel scholars of the 2020s. And we're another step closer today. We reviewed a classic, contemporary classic, American film, City of Angels from 1998. And as usual, I'm Ash, here with my co-host,
Scott.
Man, so we're back in what we've pretty clearly identified as like a really distinct moment in American media, which is the Y2K angel piece.
Back in it. This movie's from 1998. Right on the cusp there. We've already had years of angel lore leading up to this. And City of Angels is in fact an American remake of Wings of Desire.
Yes. So that's thematically cool for a couple reasons, because on this very podcast, we discussed Wings of Desire 2 weeks ago, I believe. But now I'm working on a theory based on our reviews over the past couple months. I wonder if Wings of Desire kicked off the contemporary angel movie. And that string of films lasted until like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, it might have.
I
need a list of every angel movie. Actually, did you see those that series of images that I messaged to you?
Oh, no, I got the ping, but I didn't actually get to look through it.
So it's 12 images, and it was from this was on the DVD for City of Angels.
Whoa.
It was one of the behind the scenes things. It says Hollywood loves the idea of angels in the movies. These movies win audiences and awards. And it says
So
angels
true.
in the movies, and then it's just 12 pages of various angel movies.
Holy shit. Let's fucking go through it right now. This is a great way to start, I think. It'll give us some inspiration, maybe.
Sure. So first of all, it says City of Angels got its start as an adaptation of Wim Wenders' Wings of Desire, the story of an angel who falls in love and wishes to become human.
Yep. That much is true.
And then that was a big award winner. And then he had a sequel, Far Away So Close, which we're going to cover soon.
Okay. good call.
And that won the grand prize of the jury at Cannes Film Festival in 1993.
Huh.
And then they mention Angels in the Outfield, which was
Let's go.
first seen in 1951 with a little girl rooting for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then its remake that we covered, 1994, which is, of course, about the Angels. And then the California Angels, much better.
Already more thematic. Yeah, quite an
Yes.
improvement in every way off the first one, which I haven't seen. If you listen to our review of the 94 film Angels in the Outfield, to recap, I personally was very surprised at how much I hated it, considering it was one of my favorite films as a little kid.
Interesting.
So that regardless, I do think it was they did a more clever use of Angels with the Angels in the Outfield title. It's like the Pirates. Who gives
There's
a
no
fuck?
way one of them popped out of the soda in like a weird CGI bubble either.
No, that was
the old one.
That was probably an innovation from the mid '90s. I agree. If Buster Keaton hadn't already figured out how to do that in like the 20s, it probably didn't happen in Angels in the Outfield in the 50s.
Floating up in a real bubble, risking his life, making a ridiculous face the whole time.
Yeah, he could have been popped at a moment's notice. Maybe Buster Keaton was an angel who took the fall.
Ooh.
And decided to become mortal. I don't know. Just the theory I'm working on.
That's great. Falls in love with a clown. So then they go on to talk about A Guy Named Joe, a hit in 1944. The story of a daredevil bomber pilot who dies and is assigned to become the guardian angel for a young Army flyer.
Yeah.
So they mentioned this because this plot was updated and remade by Steven Spielberg for 1989's Always.
Okay, so I'm learning a couple things already from the slideshow. One, there's a vast tradition of angel movies that predates Wings of Desire, which, to be clear, I knew. I just feel like Wings of Desire marked a turning point and maybe launched a totally unfounded theory, but maybe launched the Y2K era of angel movies. But something that is a bit interesting is that now a lot of these films that we're seeing in this late 80s through 90s period being discussed here, they're all remakes.
Yeah.
They're all remakes. So that's something to keep in mind. One, because we're talking about angel movies and, you know, a lot of these are coming from like older plots. Two, because I frequently get frustrated looking around at the movies of today in 2026 and think, why so many remakes? We used to have original movies. And the answer is no, we actually never did. We've just been always been remaking everything.
Yeah. Let's see. They also go on to mention.
Yeah, let's go. Keep going.
Here Comes Mr. Jordan.
I don't know that one.
A prize fighter dies in a plane crash and is mistakenly sent to heaven. After the angels learn that he was supposed to live for 50 more years, they must find another body for the prize fighter to finish his life.
Clerical error.
Yeah.
It
Sounds
won
pretty
Academy
good.
Awards for Best Writing, Original Story, and Best Screenplay. Yeah, that's an intriguing one. But here is the kicker. Next slide. The story was retold
Ugh.
in 1947's Down to Earth and 1978's Academy Award nominated Heaven Can Wait.
Wow. Third remake and still getting Academy Award nominations.
Yeah. So, maybe add Heaven Can Wait to the list. I've never seen that one, to be honest.
No, I haven't either. I don't believe.
So Warren Beatty. It's a comedy / sport movie directed by Warren Beatty.
I
and
did see
Buck
that a
Henry.
long time ago.
Oh, it's about a Los Angeles Rams quarterback.
Yeah, that reminds me of the last time I was going through angel movies many years ago. I was always focused on like redemption arc ones though, where somebody has to gets like another chance.
Sure, yeah, that's a compelling.
Now I like movies where people already had their last chance and are just finding out.
That's growing up.
Yeah, that's growing up. Then they mentioned that another audience favorite is It's a Wonderful Life, which I guess
Sure
is kind of
is.
similar in that he's like gets to be a human in the Wings of Desire / City of Angels style
Yes.
angelology or whatever,
Angelology.
you know, floating around the city seeing what's going on without him.
Mhm.
I also think that's due for a remake, but as I'm
Well-
sure I've said on this pod before. Oh, what were we gonna say?
Well, no, I agree with you. I will point out on the following slide, this classic was remade as a telefilm, and it
Oh,
happened
my
one
goodness.
Christmas. Now it was a telefilm in the 70s, starring Marlo Thomas. People don't really remember that one. People still watch It's a Wonderful Life, the original one.
Yeah,
They don't know about it happened one Christmas.
Oh my god. Well,
Um,
I wanted to make It's a Wonderful Life without you, where the person realizes that everybody's better off without him, and then he returns just out of spite, and then his whole family's worse off than they were before.
okay, I'm not gonna lie. Before going to the movies last night, Julian and I watched an episode of Alf that essentially had the plot you just described.
Oh, really?
Not quite, but it kind of did the comedy trope. So Alf gets amnesia playing croquet.
Classic.
Yeah, classic Alf. He's always up to something. And in his amnesia, he envisions a life where he never met the Tanners and became their pet alien. And they're all like doing amazing. Like they're like rich and their kids have impeccable manners. But actually, you know what? They do. I think they sort of reveal that they are like lonely or something. Like they don't feel their life has meaning.
Okay.
So you know what? They don't actually. Now that I think it through, they don't actually go all the way there. They had to have that little like television twinge of, but you know, you made their life richer in some way. It would be great to just definitively show everything is better in
Yes.
this other. Oh, holy shit. While we're just naming different movies, they put the movie Sliding Doors on the Criterion Channel. When is the last time you saw that movie?
Not since it like first came to Video Store, I believe, like many
Sure.
years ago.
I'm going to tell you right now, that one is a stinker. That is a crazy movie. It is so
Okay.
bad, in my opinion. It is ridiculous. Like the tone flips and the really clumsy storytelling is just so. It's like the movie has the narrative structure of like a precocious middle schooler telling you a story nonstop, and they just like won't. And you're like, okay, well, I kind of need to go to the bathroom. And they're like, hold on, something else happens. That's sort of how the movie feels, and it's like really hard to watch. But you know,
Jeez.
the trope, the old, what had happened if I never did this? It just, people love to see that in the movies, and the Angel
Right.
movies are kind of like that too.
Another chance. What would it
another
be
chance.
like if I didn't do this? Oh, it would be worse. It's good. My choices have been good. I don't regret anymore.
No, I don't regret anymore. To finish out these slides of angels in the movies, The Bishop's Wife in 1947 told a similar tale of an unconventional guardian angel. ... Go to the next slide. This story
Wait, hold on.
resurfaced.
Go to
What?
the
Hold on,
Bishop's
hold on.
Wife.
Shh, 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 shh.
Sorry. Just the first premise of Bishop's Wife,
Oh, you're right. I
a
glazed
guardian
over the
angel
good
coming to
part.
help an Episcopal bishop repair his financial and family problems. That sounds like something we would have covered within like the past 10
Okay,
from the
you're
past
right.
10 years.
Okay,
Like
you're
a
right.
J.C. Campbell movie.
The fact that it specifies Episcopal is really funny to me. I don't know
Yeah.
why. That really makes it. But then next slide. This story resurfaced in 1996's The Preacher's Wife, starring Whitney Houston and Denzel Washington.
Wow. Now that I got to see.
Yeah, I wonder if that's also about an Episcopal bishop or if they changed it.
It's a Methodist in that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
96 though, so that's probably up
96.
our alley.
Yeah, that puts us in the pocket. Oh, we're close to the end here. We're getting
Yep.
getting hot.
Then we have 1947's Heaven Only Knows, which adds the Western ambience of a saloon for the angel to contend with.
Hmm.
And,
Next, yeah.
Then Defending Your Life. Judgment Day is just that, a courtroom-style process to determine whether you made the most of your life.
And that was from 91.
Yeah, Defending Your Life's a pretty good movie. And then they also mentioned from 1996, the Archangel Michael in
Ding, ding,
Michael.
ding, ding, ding. That's one
And,
we reviewed.
Yes, that is one we reviewed, starring John Travolta. And Ash, I don't know if you thought of this while watching City of Angels, but I, of course, thought of Michael pretty early on into this movie.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely.
And then I was thinking about the movie Face Off. And then I was thinking, man, it would be cool if they both went down to earth, switched faces.
And they switch faces. Angel off.
Yes.
Angel off.
Seth
guys.
and Michael switch faces.
Oh, my God. That would be so insane.
Right?
Yes, it really would be insane. You know what? This movie's not on the list. But again, now that we're in the best portion of the show, which everyone likes, which is just when we go back and forth and name a movie to each other. Do you remember when you and I watched the film Angel Eyes starring Jennifer Lopez and Jim Caviezel? Jennifer
Yes.
Lopez plays a I know you do, but I'll say it for the audience's benefit. Jennifer Lopez plays a tough Boston cop, which is a role that she keeps getting put in throughout the 90s for some reason. I really don't know why, but she does. And Jim Caviezel plays an angel that she finds. And the climax of the movie, they go to a jazz club. And without knowing jazz, Jim Caviezel just steps on stage, picks up a trumpet, and does a beautiful solo that stuns everybody at the jazz club. That is a really insane movie that doesn't get talked about enough. Maybe we should do that for the show.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Angel
should,
Eyes.
because I remember just being like, because that movie, it's like way more violence than you think it's going to be. And it's also Jim Caviezel, whom we love. Famously a guy who cannot remember a line that's one word long.
Famously Jesus.
Famously Jesus. Famously doesn't know how to read or barely knows how to read and is a genius. So that would be fun. Just something to consider.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it is. The last slide of this, just for completion's sake. Last slide is Made in Heaven. From 1987.
1987.
So again, these are if my theory is correct, and Wings of Desire, which was 87, kicked off the new wave of angel cinema, then that would have made sense why all these studios were trying to delve back into the past and recycle. They were like, oh, we should do Wings of Desire. We should do Wings of Desire. Like, let's take this script from 1947, and let's remake it for the 90s. Everybody loves angels. Touched by an Angel's on TV. Honey, Touched by an Angel's on TV. So it's worth considering. And City of Angels is a shining example of that. I would say that this movie made me groan mostly, but I couldn't help but appreciate it for being a shining example of what we just discussed. And I liked all the Los Angeles references.
That was nice.
That was fun.
All the LA.
That was fun. I liked
City of Angels.
City of Angels. I liked
Angeles.
For example, I really enjoyed the part where toward the beginning of the movie where Nicolas Cage and who plays Seth, an angel, and his angelic partner in crime, Cassiel, are in a liquor store where an armed robbery is in place. And while all the customers are lying on the ground, the angels can hear their thoughts, and it pauses on a woman, and she says, "I should have gone to Ralph's."
Yeah. It's
I was
pretty
like,
funny.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty funny. That got a chuckle out of me, I will admit. There's also a scene where in the hospital they're taking care of a baby that was abandoned. And they're like, we found the baby in a dumpster behind the House of Pies. I was like, oh, I've been to House of Pies. That's where they found the baby, in the dumpster. So,
God, think of that baby. It reminds me of Black Mamba. Somebody gets a spell to have a baby, and it is this like horrific baby
whoa.
That,
Man, I
like-
want to see this movie.
that like eats the two babies next to it in the nursery.
Whoa. You can't do that.
No.
Actually, I guess, some animal species do that, but, not humans. We're more civilized than that.
Supposed to be.
Unless you're a black mamba baby.
That's right.
Unless,
Don't mess with Black Mamba.
no, this
That's
is
the
what I
thing.
learned. This is what I learned. City of Angels. So,
Dumpster
We already-
babies.
dumpster babies, Los Angeles. These are all the things we think of when we think City of Angels. Isn't that wonderful DIY film that you like also called City of Angels?
Gods of Los Angeles.
Oh, Gods of Los Angeles. I'm glad that you knew what I was thinking of. I'm very glad that you knew that I was thinking of. One day we got to do that one. We got to do that one.
One day we'll have to.
We'll simply have to.
Yeah,
Um,
actually, that's back to your point about people having seen Wings of Desire and then us reading about other Angel movies. But I do think you're right though, because like between, like I know Highway to Heaven was doing better than you would think by it being on 5 seasons, because
Yeah.
they kind of abruptly stopped because one of the main people died.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then, like you're saying, it's like in the zeitgeist. And Wings of Desire is a very well made movie. And I know
Mhm.
a lot of cinephiles, serious film folk, think very highly of Wim Wenders.
Right.
And that like might be his most, I guess Paris, Texas is probably more famous. But anyway, it's one of his best known movies. And
It sure
people
is.
speak of it highly. And I do think people are kind of trying to go for that.
Yeah, I
vibe.
think. Yeah, me too. I'm definitely not saying that Wings of Desire invented the Angel movie. I mean, that's always been a theme, but I do think that the flavor of Angel movie, because films during this time, also 90s and 2000s, films, even like Hollywood films meant for a mass audience, saw themselves as pieces of art. You
Yeah.
know? Like I think a film like City of Angels, I think saw itself as like an art house film with wide appeal.
Yeah, I could see it.
So this is this is the Wings of Desire theory. But City of Angels is notable because it is a loose but still pretty obvious remake of Wings of Desire directly. So, they really got the chance to do it. And it stars Nicolas Cage as the angel Seth. And the female lead of this movie is Meg Ryan.
Who was
She-
big time at the time.
Yeah, this was really huge casting. And by the way, she's a doctor. She's a surgeon. Her character's name is Dr. Maggie Rice. It's also worth pointing out that Dennis Franz, I actually don't know how to say his name, a very famous TV actor from the time. He was on so many episodes of NYPD Blue
Yeah.
that, he's one of those people. Well, I think based on his Wikipedia, it seems like he retired at the end of NYPD Blue because he didn't really do anything after that. But he was also in like hundreds of episodes of that show spanning years. So, he put his work in.
Right.
But that's one of those guys who at the time would have been super famous casting, but I feel like people don't really remember him so much because he's so of television from a specific time.
And when you see him in this movie, the first thought is like, that guy, I've seen that guy as a cop from somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's NYPD Blue. Famous to me, though, as a character from the Dixie Chicks music video, Goodbye Earl. He plays Earl.
Amazing.
I watched a lot of CMT at this time in history. So that was where I honestly mostly knew him from.
Another big music video attached to this is the Goo Goo Dolls one.
Oh, shit. Yeah. God, that song is good.
It's a good soundtrack.
A really good soundtrack. Were you saying in the text chat that that Goo Goo Dolls song, is that Iris, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't actually remember what the title of that song is.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am.
I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think. Okay, that's Iris. That song is so fucking good. And there's a lot of really good songs in this one. They do In the Arms of the Angel.
A powerful one.
A very powerful one. So
Which seems silly to use today, but at the time, I'm sure it was like,
yeah,
really hit.
perfectly timely. So yeah, banger soundtrack, blockbuster art house film, spawned the song Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, which is beloved to this day. I
A
still
lot of
see it.
Morissette Uninvited on there.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was great. There was some like trancey sounding stuff that I didn't recognize but sounded very familiar because, you know, this was like a booming time for dance music and rave culture. And like, you know, some of the dance music from the time had a very kind of like soft feel, which made it perfect. I mean, one of the defining features of Y2K aesthetics, you know, it's not just like neon slime and rave colors. It's also like very natural settings, like soft natural settings, like beaches, forests, soundtracked with dance music that's meant to be very light and relaxing.
Yeah.
That's a huge Y2K touchstone. And City of Angels and Touched by an Angel are full of that aesthetic.
One music moment I really liked in City of Angels was when Meg Ryan is doing surgery, open heart surgery, and she like
Yes.
puts on Jimi Hendrix.
Yes.
You think that happens in surgeries? They
Yes, I do.
okay.
I remember reading an article when I was a kid for some reason. I read an article in, I think it was like Time magazine, and it was about the music that surgeons listen to. And it would like just profiled a bunch of like successful surgeons and just asked, and so some guy was like, oh yeah, I just listen to Billy Joel albums on loop while I'm doing like 8-hour surgeries. And it actually, that scene prompted me to write in my notes, which I'm looking at now, you better play good music while you're doing surgery on me. I don't want bad vibes.
Exactly. That's what I was worried about. Your
Yeah.
surgeon's just like some sadist listening to Merzbow the entire time.
Yeah, carving you the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting bad vibes on all your internal organs and shit. Like, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
You know, the thing for me, I mean, I imagine, you know, the lead surgeon is probably picking the music, I guess. But, you know, because, I mean, you're working with your hands and these things sometimes take a while. I mean, that's the thing with surgeons. You know, this is obvious to some, but maybe not to all. I mean, some of these surgeries last like 8 hours, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're just fucking in there. They have to take breaks. They listen to music, blah, blah, blah. So the thing that I couldn't abide by, let's say I wasn't the surgeon. Let's say I was a very experienced nurse that assisted with the surgery, you know, very needed and my experience was sought after, but I was not the surgeon. What if I had to listen to Billy Joel for 8 hours because the fucking surgeon is like, this is what I need to do. And like, you can't argue with him because he's doing like open heart surgery.
Do they tell you about this in med school?
I don't know. I can only
Seems
speculate.
important.
That's like the first thing I would ask.
Can you imagine going through all med school? You're doing well. You're working so hard. And then like, you're finally like starting to like be in the operating room with the surgeon, head surgeon, which is the job you eventually want to do at some point. And they're just like, no, you can't pick the music. You can't even suggest the music. That'll mess up what I got going on.
That would be so horrible. You can't wear AirPods.
No. You got to communicate with each other.
This is like the first thing I would ask when I got to med school. I don't believe that everyone feels this way, but I had the same thought watching this. I really did. It was notable to me. Yeah, Dr. Maggie Rice is doing surgeries, listening to Jimi Hendrix. She seems, for all intents and purposes, like a good surgeon, although the movie does open with a loss. She loses a patient. And we also see fucking people just in the room staring at her, looking her in the eyes. And the untrained Angel movie viewer would say, who let all these guys in the room? But we, experts on the subject, knew instinctively, oh, these must be the angels.
And guess what? Those were the angels.
They were. Yeah. It seems like Nicolas Cage's character Seth is sort of like the patron angel of this hospital. I would assume there's multiple, but he talks about how he lives there. And, he seems to just kind of work at this hospital the same way the nurses do.
Yeah.
But we do get some classic angel media shots of being in different settings and seeing like a whole group of angels. And that's always so fun.
Right. Similarly to Wings of Desire, we had the big library shot of seeing lots of angels in the library. But then more memorably, every sunset and sunrise, all the angels gather at the beach and stand roughly 6 feet apart so as not to get each other sick. And in their black overcoats. It reminded me of in Touched by an Angel, the episode with the school bombers.
Oh, yeah.
Because you see all those angels going towards the school at once.
Yes.
It's kind of like that, but more peaceful, of course. They're just enjoying the sunset, I guess, getting close to God. Yes.
No, I agree. I mean, that moment in the Touched by an Angel episode is definitely the most striking angelic army shot that I remember. But we had it in this episode, and it was like, so here's a cool lore drop from City of Angels is that the angels can like hear something in the sunrise. They're like attuned to heaven's music or something. And this is notable because the angels don't have a lot of the same senses, of course, that humans have, and human senses are very sought after. These are the things that tempt angels the most to want to become human. They want to taste. They want to touch. They want to bleed. They want to
see color.
They want to see color. They want to do a little hanky panky. They do. The angels want to fuck.
Do. Yep. Seth and Cassiel very early on, are talking, and Seth is asking, do you ever wonder what that would be like, touch? And Cassiel's kind of pretending no, and then he's like, come on. He's like, yes.
They all want to do it.
They're curious.
They're very curious. And, not to get I know I'm going a little out of order here, but this is made even more clear when Seth encounters the angel who is already on Earth. I was wondering if this was going to happen in this film because, you know, that's such a huge part of Wings of Desire. In Wings of Desire, of course, they have Peter Falk, famous Columbo actor, plays an angel who's gone to Earth. And in Wings of Desire, he's playing himself, Peter Falk, which is a very funny plot device.
Yeah.
But he's playing a famous actor who was an angel and who came to Earth and became a pretty exceptional person, became a famous actor. In this film, there is one of Maggie's patients is a guy named Mr. Messenger, which, you know, probably should have rang my plot point bells, but it actually didn't. I totally slipped by me. I was like a real mark for this plot twist. And, you know, but it's kind of interesting because instead of being an exceptional man in this film, Mr. Messenger, played by Dennis Franz, is dying in the hospital bed. And he's not like a very good patient, I guess. He's like eating ice cream when he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
He's like being kind of rude.
What is that on your lip?
What? Am I slobbering here?
Where did you get that?
What am I, a prisoner?
You want to get well or you want Ben and Jerry's?
This operation is a big deal, Mr. Messenger. If you're going to continue to eat in this manner, you might as well skip it. Save yourself the 30 grand.
Well, Doc, if you'd have performed the operation yesterday the way you were supposed to, I'd be sucking carrots through a straw in my arm. What the hell happened?
Circumstances were not optimal for the procedure.
Hey, I ain't the procedure. My name is Nathan Messenger, and I'm sitting right here.
He doesn't display angelic tendencies at first glance.
He's living it up.
He's living it up. He describes himself as, later on in the movie, when after Mr. Messenger reveals himself to Seth, and later to Maggie eventually, he self-describes as a hedonist and a glutton. And, you know, he kind of shows how it makes sense, you know, why somebody like him could be an angel, like someone who was so in touch with the senses that he kind of overdid it.
I say good for him.
You know, I say good for him. I mean, I actually thought that this device was one of the most genuinely interesting things about City of Angels, because it raised a pretty interesting philosophical question that I've sort of been grappling with myself recently, which is basically like, why do humans do stuff that we know is bad for us? You know, I mean, there's a lot of answers to that. Some of them are obvious, some of them are less obvious. But why do people smoke cigarettes? We know smoking cigarettes are bad for us. Why do we do it?
Feels good.
Feels good. I mean, simple as. But still, I mean, the idea that Mr. Messenger is an angel, you know, he understands life and death. He has seen humans pass into death. I mean, maybe the reason he is down to be like, he lives, the movie claims that he lives basically an unhealthy human life. Maybe the reason he does do that is he's like, who cares? I'm going to go to heaven. So I'm just going to have fun.
He's not as scared. He knows that. Oh, another thing about this movie in particular is when you die, the angel who's taking you on to heaven says, "What was your favorite part?"
Oh yeah.
So
you could have said the ice cream, you know.
Right. Ben and Jerry's ice cream, he would say. The little girl that Nicolas Cage asked that to, she says pajamas. It's nice.
It's a nice
I
answer.
remember thinking like the first three things people said. I was like, humans made that, humans made that, humans made that.
Humans are amazing. Angels didn't make pajamas.
No.
Humans are really amazing creatures. I understand why angels want to be us. I really do. I really, really do.
Have you been thinking about since this, like it was your guardian angel just like completely up in your mug? Because they kind of up the ante from Wings of Desire. In Wings of Desire, the angels kind of seem like they're creeping a little bit, even though they're not actually causing any harm. And we know they're just curious or whatever.
Yeah.
But in this one, Nicolas Cage would be like directly in front of someone's face, like staring into their face.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a little. The Angels were definitely more. It's the American Angels versus the German Angels. You know, there's like less of a space boundary. And by the way, I will point out that Nicolas Cage as Seth is a distinctly American angel. And I know that because toward the end of the movie, when, spoiler alert, he gives up his angel powers and does become a human, he can no longer speak Chinese. It's not that he really can specifically speak Chinese. It's just that they mention in the movie that angels can speak all languages. They can talk to anybody. So when Nicolas Cage becomes a human in America, in Los Angeles, he speaks English and he tries to talk to a Chinese lady and she doesn't understand him.
Man, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even clock that really. That's funny. He didn't even get to pick the language. Just like it's English.
He was, I guess you're given the language that like your territory assignment is in because that's where you desire to be. But I don't know. It's
arguably it should be Spanish, or if he like landed in Koreatown.
Well, it just as well could be. I mean, if he had immersed himself in a Korean community in Los Angeles, then maybe he would have been put down as a Korean guy. I don't know. But I thought that was notable. You know, they were doing that to show that he's not an angel anymore. He doesn't just have the privilege of walking up to anyone and being able to communicate with them. But specifically, they use Chinese as an example of something he could not speak. And it stuck in my head, I think because it happens to be the beginning of Chinese New Year. It happens to be Chinese New Year today. So in my group chat, everyone was wishing each other happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Yeah, to you too. To all of our
Thank you.
Chinese listeners. Right now, it's kind of a trend. Like people are doing this on Twitter and stuff too. But like people are like drinking hot water in the morning now because like it's apparently what Chinese people like to do. So like in my group chat, like 3 of us are now drinking hot water in the morning, including myself. And I don't know. It just kind of feels like on this Chinese New Year, you know, we're all making a commitment to do Chinese things, I guess. like drink hot water.
Got to get advice from Gerbert.
Yes. From Chinese Gerbert.
That's right.
Off that wonderful Instagram Reels page.
I wish I'd trusted my instincts earlier. My name is Gerbert. I live, or rather lived, in a small apartment compound on the outskirts of Bafusam, sometime around 2017, with 3 other tenants. Our landlord, Pa Kim Bong, was known in the neighborhood as a saint. For 6 years, Pa Kim Bong never collected rent. Not once.
Anyway, there's Angels on Earth. Angels on Earth. And similar to Wings of Desire, they have the choice. They can make the choice to become human.
We learn that can be done. You just have to take the plunge. And taking the plunge as what's the guy's name again? The Peter Falk of this movie?
Something Messenger. His last name is Messenger.
Right. Mr. Messenger.
I've just been calling him Mr. Messenger.
When Mr. Messenger explains it to Seth that you kind of got to like step off a ledge and just close your eyes and wish to be human, and then you wake up human.
Yes.
Nathaniel Messenger. Glutton, hedonist, former celestial body, recent addition to the human race.
I don't believe you.
You want proof? You hang out at a library. You can speak every language. You travel with the speed of thought.
And you're reading my mind right now.
Stop that.
You're doing it.
It's impossible.
Some things are true whether you believe them or not.
How?
You choose.
Choose?
To fall to earth. You take the plunge, the tumble, the dive. You jump off a bridge, you leap out a window, you just make up your mind to do it, and you do it. You wake up all smelly and aching from head to toe and hungrier than you've ever been in your life, only you have no idea what hunger is or any of that stuff, so it's all real confusing and painful, but very, very good.
And that is what Nicolas Cage does, and that is what happens.
Yes.
And he is thrilled to see that he's bleeding. You see a young Nick Offerman as a construction worker making fun of him. And he goes on to find his true love, who is, of course, Maggie, the surgeon. And because... Okay, so this happened in Wings of Desire, too. I felt like it was something that should have been corrected. So you're an angel and you want to be human, and you've been around humans for, like, all of human time, basically. Sure. And then, like, he just, like, walks into the hospital and is like, hey, I'm looking for so-and-so. And they're like, sir, you can't be here.
Mm-hmm.
Except they're not quite like that. It's like... whoever he talks to does, like, put him in touch with her ultimately, right?
Yes. Yeah, because he finds that woman, Anne.
Yeah.
Who's Maggie's friend. That people are cutting him a lot of slack.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had to remember, again, I know this is a movie, but, you know, at first, when he's a little off-putting, he wears the same clothes every day. He doesn't know our customs. Well, whatever. He's only appearing to Maggie, and he's doing it intentionally using his angel powers. When he's just a guy with dirty clothes he's been wearing for months who has open wounds and is wandering into a public place, that shit is not going to fly in the city of angels. It's just not going to fly. But, you know, he's handsome. It's that movie magic thing where it's like, well, people can just tell he's okay. Whereas, like...
Imagine this actually happening in Los Angeles, and they're like, we have a specific protocol. This is the fourth time this has happened to me today, basically.
Today, yeah. yeah, he gets unceremoniously tossed out of Jimmy John's or wherever.
Yeah.
But no, not in this movie, because it's movie magic, and he has to find out, you know, where Maggie's gone for the weekend. So Anne tells him, and he sets off right away.
He goes to find her. She's okay. So a side plot here is that there's another surgeon who she's in a situationship with.
Ah, yes, a surgeonationship.
Exactly, surgeonationship.
Yeah.
He's looking to her side surgeon. He's looking to make things a little more serious. Wants them to get away for the weekend at her parents' cabin, I guess.
Yes.
She's loaded. And then
yes.
We don't know what happens with that, but they're having a little bit of an adult argument. And then cut to Nicolas Cage doing everything he can to get to this cabin. And when he shows up, it's just her there, and he collapses because he's tired and bleeding, and he has a human body now.
Yes. This is a wonderful and very sexy scene because, so it's pretty awesome because right after he becomes human, he suffers many embarrassments. First of all, he can't speak Chinese, which, like, is life even worth living if you can't speak Chinese? Then he immediately gets mugged. And yeah, he has to, like, hitchhike to Tahoe.
They take his boots.
They take his boots. It's very, very sad.
His angel grade boots.
Yeah, there's a eternal warranty on those things.
You know what those resell for in Los Angeles in the right place?
I don't know, but
probably
I'm imagining probably a lot. Yeah. But yeah, so after this humiliation and suffering that represents that he can feel mortal pain and tiredness, he gets to feel the opposite of that, the relief of, being with the woman he loves. I believe she bathes him, which probably feels good as fuck if you're an angel, or just have ever felt the caress of a woman before. I never have, but I'm sure it's nice. And then they have sex.
They do it.
And, she's asking him what it feels like. It's very horny.
Oh, yeah. That's been an ongoing thing, too, asking about what things to describe things better. He gets her into Hemingway.
Right. Yeah, he notes that Hemingway always has his characters describe how something tastes, and this appeals to him as an angel.
Yeah, because he has to live vicariously through various human senses. So, Fortunately, since he spends a lot of time at the hospital library, I don't know where that library was, because he says he lives there, too. It's very confusing.
Right.
Maybe it's right next to the hospital.
Nowadays, instead of Hemingway, it would be, 20-part manga series called, I Transformed into My Stepsister's Refrigerator. But, this was a classier time.
Yep. A more romantic time.
Yeah.
So everything's going great. Best day ever. Maggie wakes up at, what is it? Oh yeah, he's going to take a shower. This is the first shower he's ever taken.
Ooh, must feel good as fuck if you're an angel.
Yes, so we get the joke first of the temperature is wrong. And then he gets it right, and then he's just as you said, feels good as fuck for an angel. He's clearly, it's better than heaven. And then in the meantime, she's like, I think he's going to be a minute. You can tell her thinking that. And so she hops on her bike to go to the store to get some things.
No.
And we see slow motion when she's riding back of a huge logging truck coming through. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know what's going to happen.
We've seen how many of these fucking movies?
Yep. And it happens. She gets hit by the truck. Nicolas Cage is freaking out, realizing he doesn't know where she is. Runs out to find her. And she's laying there. And is like, the truck driver's going to get help. Just stay here with me. And she dies. She passes away.
Yep.
It's been one day of him being a human on Earth.
Yep. He gave it all up for her. She gave it all up for him.
And she says, when an angel asks me what my favorite part of being alive was, I'll say you.
I'll say pajamas.
And she passes away.
Pajamas.
Cutting open a person's heart.
While singing Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of being alive. But no, she found love in the end. And so did he. And it's all very sad and tragic, and this fucking late 90s waterworks bullshit. Oh my God. I hate this type of shit. It is so annoying to me.
The sappiness.
I hate the sappiness. It's like, I get it. Oh my God.
It would have been a lot better if it had just been brooding and he was like, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah. And he just turns into Batman or the Crow or whatever.
Yeah.
Just sulking up on the roof.
He becomes a Satanist.
Something
like that.
Or like a vampire for some reason. I don't know.
Or, alternate to that, he gets turned human. As soon as he wakes up, he gets hit by a logging truck. Like Little Nicky style. Like he just immediately gets obliterated.
Yeah.
and Goo Goo Dolls Iris plays. And we never get to Tahoe. See, I would have liked that a little better.
Yeah.
But
Tahoe.
It all happened in Tahoe. But hey, I am not director Brad Silberling, director of
Casper
and Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, among other things. But I'm not him.
Casper in direct conflict with this movie.
Holy shit, that's a really good point. Well, whose side is he on?
Really?
Are you?
Does this guy have any scruples at all?
I'm calling it right here. I'm calling it right here. You can either believe in ghosts or angels. I don't think there are both.
Damn.
I think it's pick one or the other. Just saying.
He has another show coming out that he's in the works, or he's at least directing one episode called Call Me God. So,
Call Me God?
I'm sure that will further confuse whatever his belief system is.
Yep. Oh God, it's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a disaster. Oh, he directed Doogie Howser MD.
And a show in '92 called Great Scott.
Oh, Great Scott. That's why he sent that to the
which is about how great I am. I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, I'd be very curious to hear your thoughts on that. He directed a couple episodes of NYPD Blue, so that was maybe how he connected with Mr. Franz. Yeah,
maybe Mr. Franz got him that gig. We don't know.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, another theme of this film. This is another kind of 90s movie theme, but I like this one. I would like to see it more. In the first half of the film, Dr. Maggie she says a couple times, she's like, I thought after her patient dies on the operating table, even though she did everything she could and she's a good surgeon, she gets the feeling that she can't control everything, that it's out of her hands. And whose hands is it in? She says to somebody, I think her surgeonationship, she says, our patients, we're helping our patients fight for their lives, but who are we fighting? And I thought that was a clever line. But like, no one can, no one
it
can
was
really
also
answer that.
No, well, of course not.
Right.
It's just like a turn of phrase.
Well, sure.
It's like a weird thing to be confused about.
I know. That's so 90s though, is to be like, they say, they say, is the Pope Catholic? But like, why is the Pope Catholic? And people will be like, wow. But I did think, that's, I think it's cool overall, even though I think late 90s stuff is mad cheesy. And I look back and it like looks really dated and sometimes it makes me groan. I like that in the 90s, these, coastal elites were saying to themselves, maybe I don't understand it all. Maybe there's angels. Maybe there's God. Whereas I feel like the pendulums, I don't really know where the pendulum is at right now, if I'm being honest, but I feel like after, like, sometime in the 2010s, the pendulum swung back into the great atheism of like, no, we have figured it all out. We do know what it all is. Now I don't really know. I feel like we're into some new kind of like pagan faith healing territory.
Right.
I really can't tell you. I think we're going to have to wait a couple of years and decide.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate. I am someone who thinks that regardless of denomination, I just mistrust when anyone feels like they've got it all figured out. So I do really like that a theme in these movies is like, maybe we don't have all the answers.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And what's the part 2 with Nicholas? I forget who Nicolas Cage is talking to, and somebody's saying, then how do you explain it? And they say, what? And he says, the enduringness of heaven.
Oh yeah. The enduring myth of heaven, I think he says. Yeah.
Oh, the
I think-
enduring myth of heaven.
That's what I heard.
Oh, I thought I heard enduringness.
I'm not like willing to bet a lot of money on that, but that's what I heard him say.
Yeah, okay.
I wrote that down. But yes, he's talking to Meg Ryan's character, and it's like halfway through the movie or something when they're kind of she's enjoying an angel relationship with him.
Right.
And they're like, if there is nothing, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah. She's like looking at her cells under a microscope. I think it's during this scene. And she's just like, that's what I am, just a clump of cells or whatever. And he's like, if that's true, then there's nothing. But if there's nothing, then how do you explain the enduring myth of heaven? I don't know. You tell me. You're the angel.
You're the expert, buddy.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Yeah. That also got me thinking. I like that this movie. I didn't actually watch Wings of Desire yet because I took a break that week. I was gonna maybe try to squeeze it in before this episode, but I kind of didn't feel like it. But in this movie, I think they do a cool job of showing that angels have insecurities and kind of human qualities. They covet. They want more than they are, despite being in God's grace.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that same theme is also expressed in Wings of Desire, right?
It is, but I think it's expressed more strongly here. It's definitely more... It's like curiosity gets the better of them in Wings of Desire. And then he also is like kind of falling in love with somebody. And in here, I feel like even though he's an angel who doesn't have feelings like a human, his feelings like a human have built up so much he needs to be a human.
Yes. Yeah, I can see how that like the tone is slightly different, despite similar happenings in both movies. But I think that's interesting. I think that in this movie, it shows that there's almost something kind of selfish in Seth, Nicolas Cage, breaking the Prime Directive, to put it in Star Trek terms, to reveal himself to a woman that he has the hots for, because he makes things more confusing for her. And, by the end of the movie, they sort of have a happy ending, even though it's tragic. But there is like a turning point in the movie where he really complicates her life, and she pushes him away because she just wants to have some normal human stuff and not be in love with somebody who occupies a different plane of reality.
Right.
And, that's, if there are social workers, that would be like your therapist trying to fuck you. That seems inappropriate.
Right. That's a good point.
Seems like an imbalance of power here. But what do I know? I'm just a podcaster.
It's good food for thought, though.
It's good food for thought.
Especially because they don't talk about things like, oh, I was sitting in your apartment next to you while you were taking a bath 2 days ago.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that was great. And you're like, okay. And like you can read their thoughts. Like that's already imbalanced.
Yeah. He's already read all her thoughts.
Yeah, that's nasty. Can't do that.
It's like what women want.
It is
the movie,
right?
Listening
Another
to
movie about
thoughts.
an angel.
Yeah, they should have added more of that. Like he's like taking notes off things she's thinking, so he can like get it right later to like woo her.
There's a little bit of that when he like leaves the library book for her.
Oh, that's true.
A tiny bit. It's like hinted at, but yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
because she
angle.
thinks that the surgeonation ship guy left her the Hemingway book, but then he's like, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
And then she does some sleuth work, and it leads her to the Hemingway section and Nicolas Cage.
Yes. Oh, random, but another thought I had while watching this from my notes. I think I might be an angel. Now, I'm not saying that's because I'm, a particularly good or helpful person. Although we all know I am.
Or half of a band called Angel Electronics.
Well, there's some more evidence there. But I think it's because I really delight in the pleasures of the senses. Like, I mean, I know everybody does to some extent, but like, I get so excited about things, like when I was addicted to New Brew, for instance. I mean, that was a little different because I was actually addicted to it, but I would be like, I mean, I do that with different things. I've eaten a bagel and lox every day for the past month and a half. And every day I'm like, I'm so excited to eat a bagel and lox today.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's all I can think about. I'm just like so fucking excited to like, for mundane things, like things that are good, but mundane, like average things. Like, I don't need to go on vacation. I just like eat my favorite meal, drink the soda that I'm addicted to, do whatever. And I'm like, this is heaven, Maybe everybody's like that, but I don't know. I just feel like a quality of mine is that I really am very like Epicurean, I guess you could say.
Maybe in reality, when you become an angel or when you switch to being a human, you don't get to remember your angelship.
Maybe it's possible. Well, because what's something that's interesting. I'm really weaving together a lot of disparate thoughts I've had this week now, but the thing about, okay, everybody's been talking about GLP-1 drugs, like, for instance, Ozempic, or Reatritude is the new one. Many different drugs, and what they do is they're GLP-1 agonists. I don't really know what that is, but that's like why you eat less when you take them. And what they fundamentally do is they basically like reduce your desire for the pleasures of the flesh.
Just in general?
Yes. Because not everybody in equal measure, but there's many people reporting anecdotally, and there's also studies on this, that there's people who were alcoholics or drug addicts who started taking Ozempic type drugs for, appetite suppression or losing weight, and they ended up quitting the thing they were addicted to. There's also people saying anecdotally that they were very ambitious in their job. They had for instance, a high-powered like sales job or whatever that required them to be like chasing commissions and things like that, and that they went on Ozempic and that it made them lose the desire to chase that they felt more contented with their day-to-day life, and they didn't feel a need, like the driving kind of human desire to like add more to their life. So there's anecdotal evidence that this type of drug is not just an appetite suppressant. It is like a desire suppressant.
Interesting.
I know. It is really interesting. And then that makes you wonder philosophically, is there something, I mean, there's definitely not something at all sinful about these drugs, even though there's a lot of people who say like, oh, there's got to be something wrong with it if it seems too easy. But I don't know if that's true. They seem, only time will tell, but it seems pretty healthy so far. People seem to be having a good time with them. But it's like, if it removes some of your ability to desire, is waging against our human desires? Like, is that what makes us human? Is there something fundamentally inhuman about not having a desire to push against? I don't know.
Why are we being pushed to have less human desires? And being told that's a positive thing.
Well, I mean, that's a major touching point of many world philosophies or religions. I mean, Buddhism, desire is suffering. Christianity, Christianity definitely encourages people to go sublimate their desires into like a desire for fulfillment through God.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting to see how different people kind of work with that. Like, Mormons maybe they won't like drink alcohol or they won't do things, but they'll have like candy and soda because you need to have like something fun to desire,
Yeah.
It's just about like desiring things that aren't like ungodly, like, in their cases, maybe like intoxicating substances.
Redirecting desires.
Redirecting desires. I mean, it's obviously a huge anxiety of humans since the beginning of time. And that's in part where all these like major world religions and philosophies come from. But what if there was a drug that you would take, I don't know. I quit kratom, which is amazing. I've been drinking more alcohol lately. Not a concerning amount of alcohol, but like I've started having a couple beers every single day, and I never really did that before. I mean, it comes in waves throughout my life, but recently I've been having like 3 or 4 beers almost every day. And is that a problem? No, I don't think so personally. But, why? Why does it always have to be something? I don't know.
It's got to be something.
Maybe we're angels.
Well, that's what we claim on this podcast. So
yes,
I'd say yes.
I'd say yes.
Maybe we are.
I'd say we can't rule it out at least.
We probably are. Why was that? I'm staring at this note in my notebook. Why was there a Jerry Springer moment?
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about that. I'm glad you. That was awesome because that was Mr. Messenger. He was in bed. He was in bed. He was watching the TV, and it was
right.
And it was like Jerry Springer or one of those talk shows, and it was like, today we're interviewing mothers who are KKK members.
Right.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. We've been talking to mothers who are also members of the KKK.
And then, like, I think she turns it off, and he was like, I was watching that or some shit. I don't remember. Yeah. But this is what Mr. Messenger wants to do. This is what he does with his angels. Angel times.
He's watching Jerry Springer.
Yes.
Why not? That's what turned him.
Maybe that, that was, that's what the germ of his desire for the human experiences.
He was just saw like the biggest dipshits of humanity and was like, I gotta quit being an angel. This is awesome. Good for him.
Good for him. He figured it out.
He's like, I need the opposite of Ozempic.
Yes, I need Angel Zempic.
Make me a human.
Give me human desires. Make me human, even if it kills me. Well,
I think we should rate this thing. I got nothing more to say about City of Angels. Oh, I do have one more thing to say. There was that point where somebody takes a Polaroid of him with a kid, and then when the Polaroid comes out, it's like a bright white spot where he was.
Oh. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't remember if that was right before he turned or right after.
I might have been doing chores during that time.
Oh.
I don't even remember that.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
But
it's like The Ring.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's an interesting, unnecessary thing to put in there.
It is.
And so, yeah, we did not love the ending. Him
not
playing
really.
in the sea or whatever.
So
He's just
stupid.
like, oh, he's so well adjusted. Good for him.
Yeah, he
anyway.
had his cake and ate it too.
Yep.
And it destroyed everybody around him.
Yep. He could have waited one day to become an angel, and then she's not dead. How about that?
Yeah. That would have been great. But it didn't go down like that. Not in this movie.
There was no alternate ending on the DVD. Just lists of other angel movies.
Yes. But,
And an
you know,
interview with Alanis Morissette that I did not watch.
Get an interview with the Goo Goo Dolls. Oh, wait. No, it had one with Alanis Morissette?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Peter Gabriel.
Awesome. Angel. I did hear him on the soundtrack. That's right. Angels on Earth. I think it's fair to say.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Let's rate this thing. City of Angels. What did we, the Angels of Boys Bible Study, think of City of Angels?
I am going to give this beautiful movie, this beautiful, sappy 90s movie, 8 out of 8 hours listening to Jimi Hendrix while you do open heart surgery. What a blessing of a movie to be able to see life through angels' eyes and realize how good we truly have it as humans.
I completely agree. Really a perspective shaker from the twisted mind of Brad Silberling. I loved this movie. I don't really know if I did, but I did definitely respect it as a shining example of the genre that we've been so interested in,
for sure,
which is late 90s angel films. I don't think it'll be the last one. I think there's some other interesting ones afoot. So look forward to that. Gonna have to give this movie, oh boy, I have to give this movie 1 out of 1 pair of pajamas. Pairs of pajamas. The greatest human invention. Some of the best experiences of your life are wearing pajamas. Take a moment. Put on your PJs. That's what
One
it's all
step
about.
ahead of you.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, from my City of Angels to yours, that was the Boys Bible Study review of City of Angels. We really appreciate your generous support. I do want to invite everybody to check out our Patreon. It is patreon.com/Boys Bible Study. Subscribing there will get you Boys Bible Study content every single week. And that is great. More Guardian Angel time for you. Also, we would like to thank, of course, our patron saints at the $20 tier. We really appreciate your generous support, so we'd like to shout out. Thank you very much, Marissa, Frank, Jeff, and Mark. Also, our outro music is the song Oh My God by Mary. So, from all of us here at Boys Bible Study, myself, Ash, my co-hosts, Scott, and Julian, who couldn't be here this week, and I forgot to make a snide comment about it at the beginning of the episode. But from all of us, we would like to say, peace be with you.
And also with you.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I feel your love in me, it's coming from within. Oh my God, my devotion is so unwavering. Divine emotions when you enter me.